So today we're going to be talking about property positioning for different markets. Property positioning for different markets. I know this might seem like a very bogus topic or like a buzzword. And what I mean by that is you've probably heard this whole positioning yourself for different markets. This is how you position yourself. This is the market you're trying to sell to, and a few other things like that. And in this training, I'm going to be breaking this down from the basis. Okay. Now, one of the major challenges realtors would face is, where exactly do I find leads? Where exactly do I find leads? And the question is, you see people closing deals, you're like, oh, this person closed a deal of 80 million, this person closed a deal of 200 million. Where exactly did you find these people? All right. Where did you find these people that were actually willing to pay this amount to purchase this product? And in this training, by the end of this training, I'm sure you'd have been able to pick a few things such that even you yourself, you'll be able to start, generating those types of leads to actually start closing those types of deals. All right. So basically, we are actually going to be talking about how to sell the right property to the right person through strategic positioning. How to sell the right property to the right person through strategic positioning. That is basically property positioning. All right. You see, a lot of people believe that if a product is good, right, it should naturally sell itself. And while that is true, right, you see, products don't really sell themselves because they are good. They mostly sell because they are in the front of the right audience. I'm going to say that again. Products don't really sell themselves because they are good. They sell because they're in the front of the right audience. That's why sometimes you see that two developers can come up with an estate, one will sell out in 6 months, another one will take about 3 years to actually sell. Sometimes it's not really about the product quality. It's not like, oh, this person's land is better, or this person has a very, very nice fence, or it has this or that. It is mostly the positioning. You see, as I go along, you're going to understand exactly what positioning is and how to leverage it to increase and improve your sales. All right. You see, I like to use this example when I talk about positioning. Look at if you're trying to buy water, say Ever Water. If you go to the side of the road, being that it is positioned there, you'd most likely buy the water for 300 naira, 500 naira. Now you walk into a club or you walk into a lounge and they tell you that water is 5,000 naira. Most often than not, you would not really argue, right? You would mostly feel like, oh, it's because these people they've spent money on this space. Let me just pay the 5,000 naira like that. You would not really argue. And that is because as at that point in time, the club has positioned itself, right, with certain features, certain amenities, such that you are not going to start asking the waiter that, please come. Why is this water 5,000 naira? Is this not 300 naira outside? You see, of course, you will not do that in a club. I'm sure for people that have probably gone to a lounge or a club before, you would not call the waiter and say, please come around. Why is this water 5,000 naira? They will tell you, okay, how about you step outside, then you go and buy this particular water for 300 naira in this other place. Okay. And now that goes to shape the narrative that perception creates value, right? The perception you create about the product creates the value. Just stay with me. I'm going to walk you through on how you can actually leverage this step by step, especially as a realtor. All right. Now, what exactly is property positioning? What exactly is property positioning? You see, property positioning is a deliberate strategy of presenting a property in a way that appeals to a specific target audience. It is the deliberate strategy of presenting a property in a way that appeals to a specific target audience. Now, there is this thing that usually goes around where maybe anyone that wants to start selling, all of a sudden, you just believe, oh, you want to start posting flyers and all, which is good on the basic level. However, the more you're trying to, if you want to start having consistent results, you need to streamline your market. If you want to start having consistent results, you need to streamline your market. So for example, if you are deciding that, okay, fine, I want to sell, this type of property. You understand the property, you go through the property, okay, then you define, okay, who are the kinds of people I want to sell this property to? Do I want to sell it to couples? Do I want to sell it to HNIs? Do I want to sell this to people that are just maybe teachers? You find a way to streamline that audience as specifically as possible. And this is because if you are just selling a product and you don't have your target audience properly streamlined, trust me, you are going to be selling to virtually everyone. And if you are selling to everyone, you are selling to no one. Hence, your target audience might actually be somewhere and they are actually not even seeing your product. I like to make this example. For example, maybe it's your birthday, you like to buy a special type of cake, right? You like to buy a special type of cake. And now there is this baker that probably is in Mokola that makes this type of cake. Maybe you just came in from the UK, then you came back to Nigeria. Now, it's your birthday, you're looking for that particular type of cake. You have the money, you can pay for it, okay? Now, that person in Mokola that makes that type of cake, the exact one that you want, that you are willing to pay as much as possible for, does not have an Instagram page, does not have a Facebook page. This is just an example, right? It does not have a website, does not have any other thing. The person is just selling it there. Now, because of the positioning of the person is already at a disadvantage. Because of the position of the person is already at a disadvantage. So even if the person goes, the first birthday, the person goes online, searches, the person doesn't even find that, oh, this person exists that does stuff like this. The person will not reach out to you. You will not even get that client. And that client might actually be ready and hot. And the reason why you will not get that client or that baker will not get that client is because the person was not positioned properly. The person was not positioned. So even the person celebrates 100 birthdays, so far this particular individual that makes this product that the person wants, right, does not position him or herself properly, he would not see the client. For every product that you're trying to sell, there is someone that is willing to buy. The only difference is you positioning yourself, right, where that client can actually find you. Please let me know if you can hear me properly. Please just give a reaction. Just give a reaction. If you can hear me properly, just give a reaction. I want to know you're with me. All right, beautiful, beautiful. So the only difference is you actually positioning yourself where the client can actually find you. And you have to streamline your positioning by also streamlining your target audience, right? You see that it's a two-step thing. For example, you're trying to sell, look at people that sell puff puff, right? People that sell puff puff. Let me just use that as a very, very wild example, just for the sake of relatability. Someone that sells puff puff and likes of that. Look at Mokola, for example. They will position themselves at the side of the road. They will position themselves at the side of the road. Why do they do that? It's just a basic business principle. Now, that is where their audiences would most likely pass through. That is where their audiences will most likely pass through. The audiences are always going through there, so they would be at the front of the road, such that if anybody passes, they can easily buy the pop-off and go. Now, you as a realtor, right, understanding the property you're trying to market, you need to make sure that you are rightly positioned where people that can actually, or the target audience you've defined that can get your product would actually find you. Do you understand? You have to find, in fact, this works in all types of marketing. It works in all types of marketing. So whether you're trying to do digital marketing, right? You're trying to do digital marketing, you're trying to like, oh, I want to start running ads. Whether you're trying to run ads, the first thing Facebook would ask you is, what is your target audience? What is your target audience? What do they look like? What do they like to do, right? Even if it's traditional marketing and you're trying to look at it that, okay, fine, I want to do the traditional marketing way. Okay, fine. Who are the people I'm trying to target? Where do they stay? Where exactly do they go? So that you would align yourself within that path, right? You align yourself within that path that, okay, fine, let me be around this place such that, okay, fine, if they're trying to find me, they will see me here. Let me create an Instagram page. Let me add some of these details such that in case any of them just, searches me, they are going to find me. Now, these are very important principles because they are the ones that will actually make you stand out. And whoever is selling properties, whoever is selling consistently, the formula is always the same. You need to position yourself right. What makes a product sold out, or what makes a product last so long on the market, is also the positioning. Because trust me, if your product doesn't have to be, even if your product is the best, right? If it is positioned in a very wrong way, or in a poor way, right? Even people that need that product would actually not buy it. People that need that product will not buy it. So your job is to position the property in a way that makes the buyer feel like it was made specifically for them. I'm going to say that again. Your job is to position the property in a way that will make the buyer feel like it was made for them. All right. So I'm sure most of the time you've probably just posted a property randomly on your status, right? And you just see random people coming in. I mean, if you've been selling for a while, if you've made a couple of sales, this is actually good, because now it means you need to reflect on who are the types of people that are actually buying from me. Who are the people that are actually buying from me? Let me try and draw out, okay, fine. Maybe like 50 people have bought from me. This is what their age bracket looks like. Do you understand? This is what their age bracket looks like. This is where I met them. Maybe I met them in this particular place. Then you need to start creating your strategy around that. This is more like you trying to narrow down exactly what is working. Narrowing down exactly what is working. All right. So, like I said, property positioning is presenting a property in a way that appeals to a specific type of buyer, right? So you should look at who you are selling to, then you craft your messaging according to that person. Everybody has different types of audiences that they are selling to. Everybody has, in fact, human beings are very dynamic. Hence, everybody's not selling to everybody, right? Whoever you are selling to, there's a particular way you have always wanted to present that property to the person. All right, so now let's talk about the psychology behind property positioning. Let's just talk about the mindset behind property positioning. Now, you've been able to streamline your audience, which is the first thing you need to do. You'll be able to streamline your audience, and you're already looking at, okay, fine, for this type of audience, how exactly do I sell to these people? Okay, now I've mentioned this before. I'm just going to go over it again. There are 5 major things that drive sales. I'm just going to go over this, really quickly. Number one is security. Now, all of this still depends on the type of audience you're looking at and, the type of property you are trying to sell. But now, these are still 5 things that would drive the way your property would sell. Number one is security. Security. Is it safe? Can I trust this company? Is there government acquisition? Is the title genuine? Right? Number one is security. Those are the things that will most likely have skew. So you need to actually already be very aware of these things. Number two is the fear of missing out. The fear of missing out. We do a lot of 3 days to go, 2 days to go. Property is almost sold out. That is basically the fear of missing out. Now, number 3, status. It's a lot of people that because of our kinds of property at Landnest, a lot of properties that we are selling will also appeal to people that are trying to be of much higher status. Now we have very exciting new projects coming up, and we're going to be releasing some new information on that like really, really soon. But now you should understand that people buy status. Number 4, legacy. Number 4 is legacy. Number 5 is wealth creation. I'd have loved to expand on this, but I'm also trying to, we have a few other things to cover. I'm just going to go over that again. We have number 1, security. That is what makes people buy. Number 2, the fear of missing out. Number 3, status. Number 4, legacy. And number 5, wealth creation. Okay, wealth creation. So now, what are the variable types of markets that we actually have when it comes to property sale? What are the variable types of markets that we actually have? Because if you understand this, you can really know that, okay, fine, who are the people I want to target, right? Maybe I want to start with this particular set of audience. Then as I proceed, I will move on to this other type of audience. Maybe that would actually help me, streamline the people I'm selling to. Number 1 is the affordable market. Affordable market. I'm going to say that, please take notes. Affordable market. That's the number 1. And You see, when it comes to affordable market, these people care about different things, right? They care about different things. When you are trying to sell like a 300K property, a 400K property, a 600K property, you see, that's the affordable market. And what do these people care about? What are the things you need to prioritize whenever you are marketing to this type of people? Number one, affordability. Maybe someone that is still like a copper, a salary earner, a small business owner that is telling you, maybe the person just has a shop somewhere, a small shop, and the person is telling you, I want to buy a property. Of course, you will not advertise Bay for sure to the person, right? Or even if you're trying to market Bay for sure to the person, that is not what you are starting with, right? That's not what you're starting with. You start with an affordable property. You gauge the client. Okay, this person is probably looking for something in an affordable market range. Now, maybe like a copper, a young professional, a newly married couples, small business owners. They care about flexible payment plans, right? Flexible payment plans. They want to know, okay, fine. Can I pay 2 times? Can I pay 3 times? Can I pay 4 times? Right? They ask those questions. You will have started clocking it the moment you're already having conversations with them that this is what this person is prioritizing. Let me know how to like narrate or narrow down what I want to do. And if this is the type of audience you want to sell to, you want to be selling to the affordable market, it is good, right? It is good. Now, it's not you can sell affordable property in high quantity. Then you sell, and people that are selling premium properties will sell it in low quantity. And this is what I mean by that. If you're trying to sell maybe like a 400K property, there's a chance that you would find maybe like, you could be closing maybe like 10 people, 5 people every week, or 20 people every week. Now, if you're selling a very high value property, you might not close at that frequency, but you still close. This basically means that everybody still wins. So it doesn't mean that, okay, fine, if I'm selling low affordable property, I'm not going to make money like someone that is selling, the very premium expensive property. Everybody still wins. All right. So like I said, in the affordable market, they care about flexible payment plans. They care about affordability. They care about future appreciation, and they care about first-time ownership. There are a lot of people that still do not have a piece of land to their names. Trust me, there are a lot of people. A lot of people will say, the real estate market is saturated. That is a myth. In fact, that is a myth. It is not. See, there are a lot of people that still do not have a land to their name, such that if you decide to make this your target audience, right, and you speak to them, you'd get to realize that, oh, fine, I can still help people buy their first property. Because whenever people are trying to streamline to this audience and they want to put it on their IG page, they're like, I want to be selling to people that want to buy their property for the first time. Hope that market is not small. Will I still see clients? How much will I really make? When you want to sell a 600K property and all I have is 100K initial deposit and other things like that. Do you understand? I'm sure from the statistics, you should know that it was said that about 5 to 10% of Nigerians only have more than 500K in their account, right? It is real stuff. So you should understand that if you are talking about the majority of the other ones, right, you have a market. You have a market of people that are still want to know what it feels like to own their first land. Those markets still exist. Number 2, we have the middle class market. Middle class market. Hold on. Okay. All right. We have the middle class market. And now these are people that that, okay, fine, they are still a little bit, they are still a little bit boxed up. Do you understand? They are still a little bit boxed up. They are not like maybe looking for something that is too affordable. They have a bit of more specifications. Maybe they even own land already. Right? Maybe they've even bought land. They've already left the affordable market. Maybe they can even afford a number of things by themselves. They already have some properties somewhere. Maybe like doctors, maybe like engineers, maybe like entrepreneurs and likes of that. And now, what exactly are these type of people looking for? If you decide that, okay, fine, I want to focus on the middle market, they will prioritize security. They will prioritize accessibility. They will prioritize good roads, schools, hospitals, stable environment, right? They will prioritize things like that. Now, their priority is no longer, can I pay twice? Can I pay 3 times? Their priority is, okay, is the environment secure? Is it accessible? Can I drive there with my car? Right? Hope it's not somewhere that maybe maybe there's any risk anywhere, or maybe the road is not so good, right? These are the things they would actually prioritize. Now, the way you market to them, you have to be you have to understand where they stand. You have to understand their positioning. The first one I said was the affordable market. Now, I've talked about the middle class market. Now, market 3, we have the luxury market. We have the luxury market, right? We have the luxury market. You see, people that want to buy this luxury market, these are mostly people that they don't buy properties in their name. If you are familiar with this, right? And if you don't know, just take note. These are people that they will tell you they want to buy properties, but they are not buying properties in their name. They will shield the properties they are trying to buy in a limited company. By the time you're having those conversations with them, you'll start realizing that, okay, fine, this person wants to buy this property. That's why they will tell you, okay, you have to speak to my lawyer, right? Then they talk to your lawyer, and the lawyer drafts out the agreement. When you see the name they will put on that property, they will not put Mr. Agbola Adebanjo or something like that. You will see something like something Corps Limited. Something Corps Limited. So it's very important that you start looking at these types of people that, okay, fine, right? If I want to target people like this, it means I need to have my own lawyer on call. This is why it's very important that you know the type of people you are targeting, because they will tell you that, oh, I want my lawyer to review this agreement. And some of these people, they want these things done in time. But if you already understand that this is the type of people I'm dealing with, you probably already have your own lawyer already on call. So if they say, okay, can I speak to a lawyer about this? Okay, don't worry, my lawyer will interface with your lawyer and you guys can make a conclusion. It already means you already understand the market. It's more like you saying you understand the game, right? Now, these people, they don't really want crowded estates. They are not looking at crowded estates, right? They are trying to look for something exclusive. Money is not their problem, right? Money is not their problem. They are looking for something very exclusive. These are people that if you're trying to sell to them, it will cost you. And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to sell to people like this and you're trying to position yourself, it's whether maybe you are lodging at one premium hotel, at one eco hotel, you will spend money, right? You will spend money because you won't see this type of people in general places. You won't just find them in Mokola. You won't find them in some places that are not high end. It means you need to have your proper capital, right? In fact, you need to have budget. Now, okay, fine. I'm just going to travel to this place. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm just going to, hang around, just see if I'm going to meet this one or two people. Now, that's how you position yourself to get these people, because trust me, their priority is not just they want to buy here. Right? They're looking for something exclusive. They're looking for something premium, right? So what you are selling is the status. You are selling status. You are selling the elite neighborhood. You are selling the elite neighborhood. You are selling networking opportunities. Networking opportunities. You see, a lot of these people, they don't just live anywhere, because now it is no longer about money, right? They've crossed the money barrier. They are now about influence. They are now about power. They're now about, okay, networking. They're now about growing, what they are selling by themselves is their influence. So they're not really concerned about, oh, this property is 50 million. If property is 500 million, if he does what he wants to do for them, they don't mind buying it just because, okay, they can maybe write a blog about it eventually that, oh, this particular person purchased this penthouse. Yeah. So those are the things they care about. So you have to craft your messaging in such a way that, okay, fine, it appeals to this type of people. So don't go and be selling swimming pool, that this place has swimming pool. Trust me, they are not interested in that. It has Italian floors, it has marble tiles, all these things like that. They don't really, in fact, there's a very high chance that they already have properties, that already have these things in them. So what you are trying to sell to them is not just those tiny features. It's either the privacy, the status, the influence, the prestige. You are selling the neighborhood. Oh, this is a very nice neighborhood, right? We have Otedola's daughter that has gotten a property here, right? We have these people that has gotten a property here. Those are the things they are like, okay, fine, maybe I should just get one. It's not you saying, oh, we have swimming pool, we have this thing, we have that here. So if you understand that market, it's easier for you to now say, okay, fine, these are the things they want to hear. Number 4, we have the investment market. These are people that they are buying because they want to grow their money. Maybe they already have lots of real estate properties. They have lots of real estate. So they are just looking at, okay, fine, I have 700 million sitting down in the bank. Maybe I could just use maybe some 400 million or 300 million to an investment and all. So now you are there. Oh, hello, sir. My name is this. I sell properties and I would just want to know what the amount you have that you'd like to like put to an investment for now, and maybe recommend something and show you a few of our properties. You already know how you are going to communicate with these people, because what they are concerned about there is their numbers, the growth, the development, the rental demand. There are people that they want to just probably put like 100 million in an apartment, maybe a student apartment, right? Because they know that fine, they are going to be generating maybe like millions every year. That is their own priority. Now you're going to find certain markets that would cross into each other. You find certain markets that will cross into each other, and it's important that you also know the moment you are familiar with each of these markets, it's easier for you to know that okay, this person is looking for an investment. Or maybe you find someone in the luxury market that is also looking into the investment market. In fact, the fact that you understand these things whenever you are speaking with them, it helps them to even feel much more safe that okay, fine, this person knows what he is talking about. So even if they actually wanted to go for the luxury market, right? You could easily still talk them into, okay, you can actually also put some funds into the investment market, right? Now, let me just give you practical steps, because I mean, at the same time, whenever I do trainings like this, I like to also, have practical steps that you would actually start taking from now. So you know the next step to take. So you are not just like, we've already said all of this now. What exactly is the next step? What do I do? Right? What do I do? Number one, understand the property before marketing it. That's the first step you have to take after this call. Understand the property before marketing it. Ask questions, right? Ask questions. You don't just see a property and you just quickly post, right? Understand the property. Okay, fine. What type of property is this? If you want to schedule meetings, schedule meetings. Okay, fine. I want to understand, what is unique about this property. Ask those questions, and just try and understand. Okay, fine, this is what this property is. These are the special features of the property. This is the ideal buyer of the property. What problem does the property actually solve? Do you understand? What problem does the property actually solve? You ask the developer as well. You can easily ask us, reach out to us. Okay, fine. How can I position this? Because these are questions that you would most likely be asked, right? Especially depending on the kind of audience you're trying to market. So you have to understand that property, understand it, take your time, study it, study the property. Look at the property, do some research on the road, on those other things, because you need to do your own research. The thing is, being a realtor is also a full-time job, right? It's also a full-time job, right? You might not make sales every single day, as much as that is possible. So whenever you are not, you should take your time to start understanding, the job that you're actually doing. Okay, fine. What type of property is this? Where can I find these people? You do your online research, ask questions about this. So you need to understand that property. Number two, right? Define your target market. Define your target market. You see, like I said earlier on, if you don't define your target market and you're trying to sell to absolutely everyone, you are really targeting no one. You're really targeting no one. It's basically like you're just throwing seeds, around, and so maybe if you are lucky, one seed will fall into the green grass, right? And it's going to germinate. But how often might you be lucky, right? You see, someone once said, luck is like a combination of intentional activity. I forgot how the person actually put it, but if you're trying to be lucky, right, it means you have already put in some things in place. So you see some people that are making sales, that are doing so well. It's not always luck, as much as some people will say, we are just lucky. Some of them, they are probably coincidentally where their target market is, but the principle is still the same. Some of them are coincidentally where their target market is, but the principle is still the same. We had the honor of hosting like a top realtor, that's Mr. Oladeji, and he shared a few things with us. He said there are some clients that if you want to close them, right, you can book a car. You can book a car. But now the point is, if you do not take time to understand the client you are actually trying to sell to, right, you will not even know what is going to make the person close the deal. You might just be feeling like, let me just quickly just go and meet this person and other things like that. Sometimes it is dependent on what you wear. So it is very important that whenever you meet that client first, don't also be too eager to now start selling. Ask questions, right? Oh, so what do you do? Oh, where do you like hanging out? Ask those questions. You can just, in fact, you don't have to come up and quickly start saying, oh, I sell 500 square meters of this. Oh, I sell this, I sell that. Ask questions. Now, those questions is basically for data gathering, for you to understand. Because at the same time, there are some people that will not eventually buy from you. And at the beginning of the conversation, or from the first few days of conversing with this client, you should be able to identify, okay, fine, can this person afford this property? And if you are putting your selling foot forward first, you would not get to know those information about the person. Because now, if the person knows that you are actively hardly trying to sell to the person is going to have this protective block, and you will not even be able to get the data you need to be able to make an informed decision as to, okay, fine, this is the market this person falls into, right? Ask questions. Look at the phone the person is using. You can, because you are basically gathering data. Just ask, have a feel of the person. Oh, so where do you work? Oh, nice. Where do you like to, relax and enjoy yourself? The person tells you something like, oh, I like to go to golf club. I went on a trip to Abuja yesterday, and I will still be going to Paris next. You ask those questions, then you're already getting a feel of, okay, this is the kind of person this person is. All right, this is what I'm going to present to this person. And those things, this is another lesson now. If you're trying to sell too fast, you will not be able to get those information from the clients, because now, you're already like, oh, the sell. But the moment you take the first few days, in fact, the first 1 week or 2 weeks, it's already, you said the same thing. He said you have to try to let your client trust you for who you are. Don't be too eager to present that product first. You present the product fast, so that they will now say, okay, this. You try and get to know them. You have a feel of them. Okay, fine, no problem. I just said I should check in with you. I will call you again. Now, through all those times, you are getting information. You are gathering information. It's a strategic move to actually know that, okay, fine, this is the type of person this person is. Number 3, all right, identify the buyer's emotional trigger. Identify the buyer's emotional trigger. Identify it. And these types of things, just like I said in my last point, they don't happen in your first conversation. They don't happen in your second conversation. They might not even happen in your third conversation. But you need to make sure that you have everything you need before pressing on a sale. I'm going to say that again. You need to make sure that you have everything you need before pressing on the sale. This whole information that you are gathering, identifying the emotional trigger, defining where they actually fall in, you have to make sure that they are happening at the beginning, when you are getting to know them, when you've not even started selling, right? When you've not started selling, get to know those information. Okay, fine. This is what this person prioritizes, right? Maybe this is what this person wants. You get a feel of those things, because you need to identify the emotional trigger before actually saying, okay, fine, this is the product I want to push to this person to actually, buy. All right. So number 4, don't sell just the features. Also sell the benefits. Now, this also depends on the type of person you're selling to, right? Now, largely, right, everybody is, concerned about, oh, this is how much I want to spend on this. But it's absolutely not everybody. It's absolutely not everybody. There are some people that what they just want to know is, okay, fine, how does this benefit me, right? How does it? Now, if you're selling to the affordable market class, of course, some of them would say, they will ask you very specific questions. Oh, how big is 500 square meters? They will ask you some of those tiny questions and all. But, oh, this. You have to also be ready to say, okay, fine. If that is the target audience you are selling to, you need to be able to provide an answer, right? Now, also, learn to position the properties you are selling differently. Okay. Now, my advice or recommendation is always to, pick a particular audience you want to sell to. However, if you're trying to sell to multiple audiences, right, you need to be very strategic about it, such that it doesn't feel like, oh, you are selling to absolutely everybody, right? You need to be very strategic about it. Okay, fine. I want to sell this. If I'm selling this to this person, I want to sell this to this person. So whatever content you are creating, right? I'm sure that a lot of people now, they have realtor companies. And I've seen a couple from you guys, realtor companies, where you have a company that's basically a realtor company. You repost our stuff, which is actually good. Meaning, if you are running it as a company, it's not too tied to a personal brand. So you can still explore different markets. You can still try and say, okay, fine, this is a product that is particularly made for this particular market. This is another product that is particularly made for this particular market. But your positioning also has to be very, very, very strong. All right, it has to be very, very strong. Okay, so now, lastly, you need to build a personal positioning strategy. You need to build a personal positioning strategy, right? And what do I mean by that? You need to have like your own OT, your own will I say your own origo, right, for your type of market. So for example, you're trying to sell to, maybe you want to pick that, okay, fine, I want to sell to school teachers, right? You have a strategy. Okay, first of all, I go to the principal, and next I find a meeting with the teachers. Lastly, I present this property to the teachers and likes of that. You could also say, okay, maybe I walk into a company, right? I propose them giving lands to their staff, stuff like that. Then if you have a strategy or a personal strategy, it's easier for you to replicate this thing across board. Even if you want to use influencers too is also a positioning strategy. It's just that influencers can be very pricey. However, if that is the strategy you intend to actually use, to get the people you want to get, in that sense, that means you also need to come correct with your money. That, okay, fine, I want to use influencers because I want to quickly target these people in the fastest time possible, and this is the best way I can actually do it. All right, so I'm just going to go over that again. Make sure that you have your personal brand strategy. I want to see if there's anything else that I have not exactly touched. Make sure you have your personal brand strategy. Okay. And you see, in conclusion, I'm just going to give you, a brief exercise that you can actually do. All right. So now, you can take a look at your existing audience. If you've sold before, right, take a look at the people that you've sold to. Just write it down. Look at the people that have bought from you, and look at the people. And if you've not sold a property at all, look at the people you are actually trying to target. Then you ask yourself, who is most likely to buy this property? Right? Who is most likely to buy this property? Write those things down. Right? You're trying to sell Bay for sure. You're trying to sell Nest Farm Cluster City. Then just write it. In fact, you can also, when it comes to certain things, I'm not a huge fan of asking ChatGPT, but of course you can still do your own research on Google and you can still leverage it, but not in isolation. You can ask it questions. Okay, you're trying to sell this type of property. Who are the people that are likely to buy this type of property, right? Then you make a summary of that. Then you start looking at, okay, fine, where can I find these people? How can I target these people? All right, how can I? And now this will help you. In fact, it will optimize your resources. It will give you more clarity, because now you already know that, okay, fine, this is the goal, right? This is exactly who I'm trying to target, and this is how I intend to target the person.